All right, welcome back, one and all, to another edition of Cover Decoder. It's the show when you're out with your cousins in a sweaty, beat-down Cadillac. Your shirts are off. The summer sun is beating down on you. The car is just leaking pot fumes. You pull over. You discreetly down the rest of your old English bottles. And then you go into the record store.
Be cool.
You spend the afternoon flipping through raggedy record after raggedy record, looking for the gem, for the diamond, for the thing you know will rob you
Eddie Murphy
of your cash. That's right. It's Bandcamp Cover Decoder. We've done the Bandcamp challenge for the second time now. Now, if you're not familiar with the Bandcamp challenge, my man Inkaloni, is going to fill you in.
Well, once upon a time ago, Bringineer proclaimed, "You like what you see," and we decided to take that to the bank because he said, written in stone. Bringineer said, "Go right now, go to Bandcamp, and we love you, Bandcamp. Mwah. Thank you for putting out so many great artists that normally would not have a platform." But anyways, he said, go to Bandcamp, find a cover, like what you see, and listen to it sight unseen. Buy the album, listen to it sight unseen. And we did that, and it was amazing. And we got to show some amazing covers and discover some, some sweet morsels that we wouldn't have ever found if we wouldn't have lifted up those sofa cushions that is the internet, and dug in there and
pulled out musical mushrooms
the Bringineer challenge.
There's always a pizza crust under that cushion, and it's still good to eat. All right, as always, with me on this voyage is we got Inkaloni. Inkaloni.
Inkin' after midnight.
He's hanging around in back alleys looking for covers. And then we have the Tape Finder General. He will find you. General. He will hang you from your toes.
Yes,
and make you confess. That's right. Alrighty. So, the second edition of Bandcamp. Of the Bandcamp challenge, and I'm going to start things off. This way with a little space synth voyage.
Oh, space synth voyage.
Now, if you listen to the show for any amount of time, you know us three boys. We enjoy our synth music, and there's all kinds of synth music. There's synth pop. There's dungeon synth. There's dance music synth. There's dinosaur synth. There's anything you put a synthesizer to, give it a little theme. You got a synth kind of thing. Go.
Come up with a synth genre right now. Go.
Hat synth.
Winged helmet synth.
Helmet synth. There we go. So what I did for my challenge is I went on to Bandcamp and I typed in Berlin School. Berlin School is one of my favorite types of synth music.
If you like the Berlin School.
I didn't know that was a type.
Berlin School.
Is that Rolf?
Berlin School.
Fun, it's the Autobahn. Fun, it's the Autobahn.
Yeah, so Berlin School, also sometimes known as the Dusseldorf School.
Oh!
Getting crazy.
Having the Dusseldorf.
Bands in this sort of loose genre like Tangerine Dream, Kraftwerk, Cluster. It's the early 70s electronic stuff that kind of came out of the krautrock genre in Germany.
I love these genre names.
Yeah, so you had the psychedelic German music in the 70s called krautrock, and then there was all kinds of experimentation with electronics. Basically, that was headed by
Bleifman Stiepel.
No, what are they called?
Dick Van Blunder.
Kraftwerk?
Yeah, so there was a whole lot of experimentation going on with electronic instruments, and that was headed up mostly by Kraftwerk, who are just this collective of dudes who are hanging out in their studio all day, playing around electronics, coming up with weird instruments,
staring at each other. We did a POL last year, folks. Check it out.
Yeah, just circuit bending, just insane instruments, creating a whole new genre of music, and that's where you get Berlin School from. You find Berlin School in all kinds of electronic music. It's everywhere. I mean, it's kind of the starting point. You find it in places where maybe the musicians don't even know what that is. It's there, and it's got the sort of psychedelic sound, hard driving rhythms, arpeggiated passages. Yeah,
you get all the girls with those.
You get all the girls with it,
dude.
Tangerine Dream is probably the most well known. You've heard their soundtracks, Legend, Thief.
So good.
Lots of good stuff in the 80s. Sorcerer was another great soundtrack. Anyways, so with that in mind, one of my favorite synth genres, I went ahead, typed it in, and I found Baldocaster.
Baldocaster. Burglekut's brother.
This is like when your stepdad is trying to fix your car and just starts explaining things to you. Yeah, you know your Baldocaster
I
is
love this.
Run out there. You want to help me out with that, Ronnie? You want to bond?
Yeah, they really don't make these like they used to. It's going to take about a week to order these bad boys.
So, Baldocaster are from Raleigh, North Carolina.
I love this. This is great.
They've got this sort of 70s, 80s synthesizer thing going on. It's definitely got a little Berlin School. It's definitely got some synthwave kind of stuff going on in there too.
I can't wait.
Trying popcorn.
Just the cover alone. The cover alone, I looked at it. I knew I had to try this album out. I didn't even hit the play button. I just clicked the buy button and listened to it.
This is very effective.
This album is filled with lushness. It's full of, I don't know. It's just freaking cool. It took me on a journey. These guys are clearly fantastic musicians. So let's check out the artwork.
We want to talk about the this one?
No, so that's just their cool title card from their Bandcamp.
It's ill.
Yeah, it's rad.
Let me talk about it right quick.
Yeah, talk about it.
Okay, so the title card, it's not an album cover, but I am immediately drawn to it because it's got the Aztec or Mayan pyramid right in the middle.
This is totally your style, dude.
It's so effective. It's probably got let me see, 1, 2, probably 3 or 4 colors, black being one of the colors. That's it. 4 color limit, and it's so effective the way they've got this shadowed, but I love the steps on the pyramid. That's my favorite, how it's got the shadows, and they're very effective at using the middle blue and then light blue and then finally yellow right in the middle, and it's got this massive moon and there's rocks floating everywhere. This is a very effective cover, and it would be easy to put on a t-shirt. It would be easy to make into a patch, and I can't wait to see more.
So this is that clean Inxian thing.
Oh man, this is Vector.
Nice sharp line. Now, let me take you into the cover I saw, into the world of Brengineer, the fartier...
Yeah, I was going to say, this doesn't scream Brengineer to me.
No. Farty, crusty...
Oh, this screams Brengineer.
So what we have here is...
Some brown.
Baldocaster's Cult of Saturn. Cult of Saturn. What's going on in the Cult of Saturn?
This is how I imagine our cult looking. Purple, farty, crusty.
2 people.
Yeah.
2-person cult.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a 5-person
Hey, our cult is stronger than that. Our cult could play basketball.
That's true. What do we got?
All right. What do you got, Tapes?
We have a brown picture frame.
It's more like yellow. It's more like sick fever piss.
It's ochre.
You know, you're sick and you get out, you gotta pee real bad, and so you stumble to the bathroom and You can't make it to the toilet, yellow? So you just pee in the shower?
The bed stain yellow, yeah.
Well, and so that piss has splashed over the rim onto the first moon there and stained it as well. And there's a little glowing turd satellite comet floating around, making its way to another, purple kidney stone planet.
Man, these planets are hugged up.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to get a closer look. No, they're not cities. There's just these weird, like, triangular pyramid rock things.
Yeah, that's some Roger Dean rock.
Yeah, they're really weird. And then, there's some sand, and then you've got two cultists just like, hey, man, you, anyone else coming today? No, man, I think it's just
check
us.
out the new T14.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You got any new Baldo casters on your car yet? No.
So, what I love about this cover is it just screams that 70s, 80s vibe. I love it.
I love it. Space Wizards.
Looks like some dude in his basement, like, pushed aside his old D&D manuals, pulled out National Geographic, started cutting out things, stuck it together, and then photocopied it.
You throw a dragon on there, it's a Dungeon Synth album.
Yeah, exactly. I just love the vibe of this. It's dirty. It's rough. Like I said, it looks really photocopied. It's high contrast. Yeah. And then he's put a sort of effect over it to make the whole image look like dusty.
Grainy.
And like there's a stray hair over here. Like running.
Oh, yeah. I can see it.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
That's a nice little touch.
So, I can't say enough good things about this. Now,
yeah, I love the noise effect on the background, how it makes the yellow skyline. I just learned how to do that the other day, and I don't know. I love that like eroded print look.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this release, except be warned, it's only like 13 minutes long, folks. Here's the deal. Ooh. I wasn't paying attention. I bought it expecting at least 40 minutes of lush synth goodness. I got 13 minutes. It's an excellent 13 minutes. But here's the thing, folks.
It's often like making love for the first time.
These songs fade out. There's more song. There's more song on this album, and they fade them out too soon. I want more song. Luckily for me, there is a full length coming out, which has an absolutely insane cover. I really wanted to talk about it, but I wanted to make sure, I wanted to be able to listen to the full experience and enjoy the art with the full experience. So they're full length. Visions is on pre-order, so you can hear a couple of those songs, which are pure hubba bubba. I love them. So Baldo Caster's here. Their Bandcamp is up. They have a bunch of singles and EPs. With that new album coming out shortly. So who's behind this crusty cover?
Who
is the crust master?
You have Browmaster Visual Decay. Browmaster Visual Decay.
The Browmaster.
The Browmaster. Now, what I like about the Browmaster is he knows he's crusty. His tag is bad design for bad people. Welcome to my garbage dump. Feel free to browse.
Are you serious?
Amazing.
Yes.
He makes
looking through his Instagram. Looking through his Instagram, it is definitely a garbage dump of just weird, bizarre 70s, 80s spaceships, executioners, bondage gear, motorcycle drivers, Gallo Italian murder images, trash pulp fiction paperbacks.
This sounds like my
backyard. This is all the stuff I just love. He's got a picture here called Adult Sense. That's just blue, a really awful blue background, and a nauseating red. And it's gorgeous. So I added a few of his images down here, which I really love. This one from Rodriguez, which is a awesome haunted house.
Oh, I love the way Rodriguez is spelt.
Some just vomit, toxic waste colored, noxious gas spilling from behind. A network of insane roots. And this is from the album Asylum of the Arcane.
And then there's one window lit up.
That one window
it almost
lit
looks
up.
like he must take like in Photoshop or something else and like increase the contrast, and then take like if you make everything black and white, you increase the contrast, and you take all the highlights and you just use that to color with.
Yep. I'm pretty sure like he doesn't have any information on his method, but I can tell pretty much everything is. It looks like he's just doing collages, like digital collages, like he's taking photographs of things or finding photographs of things. Some of it looks like his own handiwork, like he's drawn some things. But then I'm definitely thinking he puts it through a. I'm trying to think of the filter.
Well, while you're thinking, I'm going to say like I've used before. Sometimes like when you're trying to. Not with a photo. I haven't done it with a photo, but like one of my own drawings, I've taken and I've just done the contrast, high contrast, and then I've selected that thing, and then in that selection, I've painted within the selection. Right. So it's an easy way to color within the lines, although it kind of creates a pixelated outline. Right. But I've used that before to like just get my base colors down, but you can do that with a photo.
Right. What I'm thinking he does is he might be using a threshold filter. Just to get that black, pure black and white, and then he's able to use blend things. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe we should talk to the guy.
We should talk to you.
Browmaster, if for whatever reason you see your tag on this thing and you listen, you can
look us up, Crust
Look
Lord.
us up. Send us a crusty message.
I want to look through your garbage.
We would be glad to talk to you about your method.
Is this the Cheddar Goblin? Dude, did he make the Cheddar Goblin?
No, he makes some fan art occasionally, which I love. In this case, he made a Devane Cheddar Goblin box.
I love the Cheddar Goblin.
If you know me, I love the film Mandy by Panos Cosmatos, and there's a fake commercial featuring the Cheddar Goblin mac and cheese. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I really love this
kind of like the Cheezosaurus Rex that we all grew up with in the 90s. Cheezosaurus Rex.
And then lastly, I have this cool Monolord.
This is great.
Sort of tour poster.
This is right up your alley.
Yeah, haunted house with hands reaching out, just two colors.
Just missing an Vincent Price.
Yep, black, gray.
Welcome to my
black,
house.
Gray, and red. So yeah, Browmaster, he does a lot of work for various sludge and death metal bands and things like that. And occasionally, excellent, spacey synth goodness.
Oh, I love it.
Hubba bubba in my mouth.
Who did that Baldocaster clean one?
The pyramid one? Beginning. I do not know.
Ooh,
I do
I'm gonna
not
find
know.
You.
So, Baldocaster, if you happen to, if you happen to stumble upon this, you can also.
Who did your fondue pyramid?
Yeah, illuminate us.
I can't wait. I love synthwave. I love synth. I love that Kraftwerk kind of stuff. I can't wait.
It's delicious. So there we go. That's the end of my Bandcamp challenge.
Discoveries.
Check it out. Check out Baldocaster. Check out Browmaster Visual Decay. Look through his garbage dump. You will like what you see.
Beautiful.
All right, we are moving on. Who wants to go next?
Well, I believe we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to Camp Counselor Tapes over here. See what he's going to teach us about today. He's going to show us how to whip up a real humdinger of a cover here.
All right.
So let's all gather around Camp Counselor Tapes, everyone.
That's right. And as we're sitting around the fire, let's immediately douse it with water. Because if you know the tape finder, I don't like the heat. I don't like it. I'm not inks. I don't like to lay naked on stone.
Your brow is furrowed.
I like to dig into the mud and just be kind of cold and clammy. I don't mind it if it's warm, But when it starts getting hot, folks, I get upset. I get grumpy.
Yeah.
And
we get treated to that lithe tape finder body though.
Yeah, the clothes
that tape finder body. He's out there hunting down tapes, and it's great cardio. So at least we got that going.
Shorts get shorter. That's what happens. So if you're gonna beat the heat, you gotta play some synth music. That's going to help you with that.
More
folks.
synth.
And so for me, I found something to just cool off right away in the form of Vormithadreth. So let's
Vormithadreth.
Yes.
Vormithadreth.
Let's go ahead and pull up slide 2.
Look at this cover.
Yeah.
Ask your doctor about Vormithadreth.
Yes,
causes summer dousing, anal seepage, and hair growth.
Brengineer, why don't you go ahead and explain what this cover is?
Well, first of all, foreground, we got some brown.
From Brown.
we got some brown land sitting in a lovely... I mean, the texture on this thing.
It's canvasy.
Part of this... Yeah, part of the... I don't know. Part of the atmosphere of this image is the canvas texture. This thing is
texture.
Canvasy. Like, I think...
No gesso.
A lot of... Yeah, no gesso. A lot of... I think a lot of, like, me included, artists, like, try to paint big, so when you actually, like, shrink it down, you don't see it, you don't see the grain that much, and it's just, like, I don't know why, it's a part of painting on canvas, it's a part of the, of seeing, having the grain in there.
This was definitely done with that canvas in mind.
Yeah.
In fact, they must have used even thicker paint.
Yeah, and I love that you can see, like, the brush strokes. Like, the brush strokes are just in there.
I love that.
And it's a simplistic piece, yet the layering and the brush strokes just make it so interesting to observe.
Oh, yeah.
So what you have is you have an ocean. I don't even know what you call that color. It's just like a turquoise gray.
Loch gray.
Turquoise gray.
Like loch gray.
You got some, like, poop log landscapes in there in the front. It's great. Purple.
A little bit of blue.
You got my favorite purple. There is no painting I have ever done that does not have that purple in it. That is my favorite color to paint with, and that moon, or
it's
the
glowing.
sun there.
Look at the sun.
Yeah.
Somehow it is literally glowing.
Yeah.
Morning sun.
That color is also a color I do not have a painting that does not have that color in it. This literally has my two favorite painting colors. And then you have this beautiful golden sky. I freaking love this cover.
Yep.
And I love the purple font and, like, the font they used. I love the color they used
it's
for it.
Tiny. The font is tiny too. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, this is so good.
Yeah, it's definitely got a vastness going on, and it's one of those things that's kind of cool. Like when you don't show the monster until later, your imagination can fill in the gaps a lot of times.
Oh man,
and that's what this does. Like you could have if you're inks, you could have a little plesiosaur poking his head out of the lock right there. Just you do that. If you're tapes, you're gonna have some sort of Viking ship rowing by. If you're Bringineer, you've got a warrior with a horn.
Spooky mansion.
It could be anything. Yeah. It could be anything you want. And man, I love the vastness of this. Yeah. This is a good pick.
But here's the thing. You go down a frame and you actually get to see the full image. I don't like the full image as much. I like the album
I think
cover
it's because the
better.
sun is not centered as much.
Well, I don't know. It's just the sun.
Centering
the sun feels like it's in the wrong place.
Yeah, centering is crucial. Even if that's the picture that you're looking at and the sun is way over there and that's exactly what you see, you might want to take some artistic license and just kind of frame things up a little bit.
I mean, this is using the rule of thirds pretty well. I mean, the sun is in, the left third and everything doesn't make sense. But tapes. Tell us a bit about this masterpiece.
We want to know more.
So, as the boys just said, it's a really, besides the fact that it's a well-done piece, it has such a strong atmosphere about it that you can't help but just really get lost in looking at it. And honestly, it's why I picked it. It's the whole point of this challenge is to pick something based off the cover. As soon as I can't even remember the thread that I went on anymore. As soon as I saw this cover, I was sucked in, And the music pairs with this cover so well, folks.
Does it? Oh,
it absolutely
I want to paint
does.
something like this.
So, Vermithidreth was released on April 5th. The band is Vermithidreth. The album is the Quest for Iranon. And it was released April 13th, 2017 by Adam Kalmbach. Now, Adam is a cool dude, and I say that because in order to find out who did this cover, I actually sent him an email. He got right back to me, gave me a bunch of links. So I super appreciate that. Adam, if you're checking this out, folks, you have to go check out the music. He describes it perfectly. It's paracosmic music dedicated to Clark Ashton Smith, Lord Dunsany, and H.P. Lovecraft. And at the very end,
perfect.
This is my favorite.
This is kind of more bright, though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is my favorite part, though. In all caps, it says "No Tolkien," which I loved.
Wow.
Get out of here, Tolkien. You're in everything. We don't need you right now.
We do love you, Tolkien.
And you're right. And
but you can't have it all.
Here's the cool thing about
he's got
this.
an album called Zothique. You know, I am a massive Clark Ashton Smith fan, and in fact, I think he's a better writer, and I enjoy his stories more than Lovecraft. And I mean, I've already gone on a whole episode about Clark Ashton Smith, so I'll stop there. But I gotta check this out. I don't know. I've been in the scene and of the scene for like so long. I don't know how I missed this one.
Yes. Well,
is this Dungeon Synth?
Yeah.
It is. Well, yes, I guess so. Brengineer knows all the different types, but yeah, it is definitely Dungeon Synth. Now, here's the cool thing.
He's GSVIP.
It's minimal synth, but it's done in a way where, here's my problem with minimal and dark ambient music is it doesn't have any attention grabbers. It doesn't have any tension to the music.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
This has all of that stuff. So it's not just two lines over and over again for half an hour. It has rises, it has falls, it has just these amazing sound bits that warble and just like kind of float you through this morass of sound, and it's just beautifully and cosmically done. And going back to what Inks just said about, thinking about Lovecraft as being more dark and more, Yeah,
this is very hopeful.
Well, so Lovecraft, folks, didn't just write straight horror. He also wrote a lot of dream. He had his dream cycle, which was a lot about traveling in, different places in basically the dream world. Pretty much all of the songs in this are related to different dreamscape stories by H.P. Lovecraft.
Right.
With the exception of Polaris, which is a cosmic horror one. So
yeah, like the one where he writes about his mom, rising up out of the ocean, or the one where like he wakes up and his mom is next to him, and then the other one where he goes into the dreamscape and all the clouds are just his mom.
Mom!
It's
yeah, well, you're not far from the truth. There is one where he dreams. This guy basically dreams up this city, and then he like lives in the city for a lifetime. Like it's that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool.
Ew.
But anyway, the whole dreamscape aspect really works with this cover, and it really works with the sound. And as I said, all the H.P. Lovecraft stories in this are based off more dream and cosmic horror tones. Another cool thing about this album, folks, it is being released this year on Ancient Meadow Records. Yeah. So, yes, it's getting a tape release, and the tape release looks awesome. You can bet your ass I'm grabbing myself a copy of this tape. But
AMR Records, folks, is a good place to start if you are interested in getting into the dungeon synth genre. I think we touched on them a little bit, but they definitely try to cultivate, a very certain type of
a brand.
They have a brand. They have a theme.
Yeah, they
you kind of know what you're going to
keep
get.
It traditional. They're a traditionalist.
Yeah.
Dungeon synth. You very much get that traditional.
Like
stuff.
when you think of Motown records, you have like a certain genre that just immediately comes to mind. Same thing with that. Well, I mean, when tapes has the name Tapes, it's not just a name, it's a way of life. The other day I was walking out to my car and he was at his car, and he grabs a box and he goes, "Come over here, look at these fools!" And he's just holding handfuls of cassette of music tapes, and he's showing me each one, a lot of Judas Priest, but he's just like, these idiots, these fools are just giving this stuff away, and just laughing maniacally. And like I had to kind of like take a step back because I didn't want to get turned into a tape and added to the collection. But tapes,
I want that inks tape. I want that fleshy inks tape.
He loves the smell of tapes. Oh boy,
that's right. And going a little further into this, folks, like I said, Adam is the one to thank for giving me the doggy treats to follow to this Russian painting guru. If you go to slide 4,
you have a type.
Yep. We're going to talk about Nicholas Roerich, folks. I believe that's how you spell it.
Oh, boy.
Now, I'm going to go very brief because we still have more to cover, and this guy is a legacy in so many different ways. So I'm just going to give you some cliff notes.
I like his hat.
Right? I know.
Dude, he's got that moondog beard.
Yeah, I mean, he settled in India, and he lived there till he died, basically, and just became this weird, like, guru.
I will live here till I die.
Yeah. So first off, he painted with tempera on canvas for this piece.
Oh boy, that's why it's so thick and texture.
So
that's why he looks like he's
right
painting with clay.
And
tempera dries very fast, folks.
Correct. Sorry. Yeah. So if you're not familiar, we talked about this. I forget on what episode, but it's usually mixed with an egg or some other sort of glutinous material. Typically egg, and then it's also pigment is mixed in.
It's also you can make pancakes out of it too.
For sure, and it's the thing about it, and the reason why it was unique that he only painted in tempera is that it wasn't really being used very much at that point. Oils had kind of taken over, and tempera dries really fast. That's kind of the hallmark of it. But the reason he did it is because he was inspired by medieval painters. And he took a lot of classes in iconography. I guess he had a philosophy. He believed that you have to absorb the best from the past in order to build a better future.
Yeah, and tempera almost creates that chipped stone, like flaky stone look that you see on a lot of like church, ceilings and stuff like that. And I'm not what I'm trying to say here, but you see in that art, it gives you that like that iconic like flaky, marble look.
Yeah, and it's funnily enough, it's actually the longest lasting paint. There's examples from the first century AD that still exist to this day, done in tempera paint. So anyway, folks, he was born in Russia in 1874. This dude. He was an archaeologist, and he helped create what was called the Roerich Pact, which helped to preserve Russian history and culture. He went on
It belongs in the museum!
Yeah, he went on an archaeological
museum
expedition to explore various Russian artifacts, and he came back and was like, hey, nobody's preserving these things. And so a couple years later, they made this pact to help preserve their history. He was heavily interested in spiritualism and hypnosis. He
You will give me artifact. You will give me artifact.
He related music to the use of color and color harmonies. So he really he later in his life got into music, and he thought like colors and music went together. And he would often paint with them in harmony, and in fact he painted a lot of famous opera houses and used color tones to like match those things. He was the head of a bunch of art schools. And one of the art schools, he instituted a curriculum, and it was to teach all of the arts. So as a student there, you would learn painting, music, singing, dancing, theater, industrial arts like ceramics, painting, porcelain, pottery, and mechanical drawing, and you'd learn it all under one roof. So his thing was if you learn it all, then you'll be a better rounded artist, and you'll have more to your design. And his teachers had complete creative control with their curriculum. That was his art school.
That's awesome. Yeah. You're not getting taught like, color theory where you're just putting swatches of color down a freaking line the whole time.
Well,
Folks, I'm looking through this guy's art, and oh my god!
Yep. So,
it's so good.
So he really believed that art was like this. It wasn't one thing. It was all connected. It's all. One part of the body can't work with the other, sort of thing. So, he really believed in creativity and pushing the boundaries on that and expressing that. Getting back to the album a little bit. Roerich eventually, after the Bolsheviks took over Russia, he moved to America, and he established himself there. In fact, he had a museum that was very close to Lovecraft. Lovecraft frequented that museum and actually knew Roerich.
Oh, so this is around
Yes.
Welcome to museum.
Yes, this painting, folks, was done in
Surprised Lovecraft would like it.
Yeah, 1922 was when this painting was done.
I'm just being honest.
Well, he's a white Russian dude. Why wouldn't he love him?
Oh, wow.
Dude, Lovecraft didn't like Irish people. He didn't like Polish people.
Lovecraft only liked himself.
He didn't like anybody.
That's true.
I'm from America.
Yeah. But
he liked himself and his mom.
I think it's because of how surreal and that dream aspect that Roerich had with his paintings that Lovecraft was able to find common ground because
he's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Well, probably his white beard was white enough to make up for
you
his
will
Russianness.
Like me.
Ancestry.
Yeah, we'll use hypnosis. You will like me.
Yeah, so on top of that, this dude was a total hack. So he claimed to have the ability to communicate with the spiritual sphere through automatic writings.
That's why Lovecraft liked him.
Yeah, so check this out. With his eyes
Put your
covered,
hand on spiritual sphere.
Folks, this is all from...
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, dear sweet artist.
And thus the idea of the Shoggoth was born.
So this is all from an article that's on the slides, folks. You can check it out. I'm pulling this all straight from this article. But he would do this with his eyes covered, and then he would record the thoughts and instructions from another world. And on one occasion, he received specific directions from the spirit realm on how to raise funds to build a museum to house his own works. So he's just like, yes, the spirits are telling me that you must build statue in my honor, and it must have a giant ruby schlong. Everybody will come. It will be great. And
hey,
finally,
Lovecraft, your mother was in my dreams. She told me to give me monies.
Yeah. Joke's on him. Lovecraft didn't have shit for money. The final thing that I thought was nuts about this dude, I'm just going to read this whole piece. I also put this article in here. Early in 1934, Secretary of Agriculture Henry A. Wallace appointed Nicholas Roerich, a renowned painter and self-proclaimed guardian of world peace and culture, to lead a scientific expedition to North China and Manchuria to search for a drought.
It's the beginning of a Lovecraft story.
To search for a drought-resistant grass that might revive the Dust Bowl. By the time the project ended in 1935,
you found another Forrest Gump.
The eccentric artist had compromised America's diplomatic position in Asia, embarrassed Roosevelt, and humiliated Wallace, damaged several botanists' careers, and had he not advanced the cause of ruined some guys' career. So this guy somehow wormed his way into the presidential cabinet, went on a cruise into Asia, and just destroyed a bunch of people's reputation.
Desert grass.
But you know what, folks? We have him to thank for this truly awesome piece of artwork here, and that's what I got for you today.
This painting is actually not of ocean, but of the grass that I found in the desert.
Yes,
it is very great color.
American Dust Bowl, you sons of beaches.
Can I have money now?
What a character!
I love this.
Well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah,
you guys gotta go look at his art. His art is absolutely incredible.
Dude, be your fucking self. Be your fucking self.
But maybe
people.
just a little bit less yourself. Maybe not this much yourself.
Look, hey, if it gets you a free ride to China, I am not going to besmirch you. I'm not going to be mad at you.
If it gets you a museum with a giant erection of yourself in the middle of it, go for it.
If you can rip off the government rather than being ripped off by the government, you're a folk hero in my book.
There you go. All right, Tapes. I believe it's I believe it's Camp Counselor Inks' turn to finish this off.
Hey there, guys. Okay. So, hey, gather around. I want to talk to you again. You might be surprised about the subject that I've chosen, because I am a varied likes. I want to talk to you about dinosaurs.
In a time when dinosaurs walked the earth.
Dinosaurs.
This is actually a revisit. This is a chance for me to redeem myself.
All right.
I actually brought this album up way back in season 1 during the Dungeon Synth.
You sure did.
Show that we did.
That was your first
when I discovered.
dip.
Yes. Yeah, this is when I discovered Mastering Smith of the Guild of Lore, which we are fervent fans of now. We listen to all of his albums. They're great. Guild of Lore. And I was actually directed to Guild of Lore by listening to this album, Diplodocus, Slow and Heavy. And it is a dino synth album. Now, when I brought this album up, I kind of glossed over it because the boys asked me what this cover was from, where this art came from. And at the time, I had a nagging sense that I knew this artwork, but I couldn't place it. And so I moved past it so we could talk about Master Inksmith's incredible chalk art for his albums. But now I'd like to circle back around and redeem myself because I do know this artwork. I do know this painting. Now, I've got 2 albums up here. They're both Diplodocus, Slow and Heavy, but one over here on the right is the tyrannical version. So it's a little bit of a remix from the original. And
the one on the right is the remix?
Yeah, the one on the right is the tyrannical version.
Don't like that as much.
And the one on the left is the original.
Don't like it as much.
Yeah. The original is definitely supreme.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the original. Now, these look like very similar pieces of artwork. They look like the one on the right almost looks like a copy of the original. Well, the artwork is done by the same artist. And I'm going to tell you the story now. This is actually taken from a mural that is
so good.
Yeah, this is actually taken from a mural
from a
at
museum?
the Peabody Museum in, I believe, Connecticut. It is a famous piece of artwork done by Rudolf Zallinger.
Look at this orgy of dinosaurs. There's no way in hell dinosaurs were just hanging out with each other like this. Hey, man, can you give me some space? I'm trying to, nestle my babies here.
Well,
would you just love to have this on your wall?
Yes.
Dude, yeah, yes.
This wouldn't fit on my wall. I wouldn't have this in my wall, but I could totally see Inks having this.
I may have had this poster at some point, this huge panoramic poster. To let you guys know, this mural is like 7 or 8 feet tall, 110 feet long.
Damn.
It covers a massive top wall in this museum. And way back in 1940, there was this big empty space, and the museum director, Dr. Albert Parr, he wanted some paintings up in that great hall of what the dinosaurs may have looked like. So he asked a Louis York if he knew of anyone that would be right for the job, and York recommended Zallinger, who was one of his brightest students. And when Zallinger got in, he was like, "Hey, Pally, you don't want several paintings. You want one long painting, a panoramic of prehistoria, a panorama of time." So what this is actually depicting from right to left is actually going from the Permian all the way to the Cretaceous. So it is a stretch of time in the Mesozoic. So Tapes is right. Dinosaurs did not chill like this together. The album actually clips the last Cretaceous part where you've got the big chubby Triceratops and the upright
pregnant
Tyrannosaurus.
T-Rex. Look at that thing.
Right.
Its leg is the same size as its stomach.
Good eating, baby. Do you guys want to describe the mural here, or do you want to describe just what's on the first two albums?
Fuck, man. I mean, well, first of all, there's dinosaurs everywhere, folks. Problem solved. Brendan, here you go. I don't even know where to start with this thing.
All right. So I'll do the mural here. It starts with the whole background is a series of mountains in the background.
Volcanoes.
Volcanoes, and it kind of moves along into like more distant mountains, and then you get into like straight up suddenly canyon kind of landscape going on. So not only are you getting a difference of dinosaur life, you're getting kind of a different landscape as you go along. So over on the left, you got volcanoes. You've got Triceratops here, some sort of pterodactyl. You've got Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Not my favorite Tyrannosaurus Rex depiction.
Look at the T-Rex's demon eye.
This is a mean-looking T-Rex.
Tough boy.
I feel like it looks like a chicken drumstick. His body is a chicken drumstick.
He's ahead of his time because we found out later that yes, birds and dinosaurs are both archosaurs.
Yeah. It looks like a turkey turkey dinner.
These are definitely Generation 1 dinosaurs.
Yeah, you've got an Ankylosaurus down here,
looking like a pineapple.
Some sort of Parasaurolophus kind of deal. And then you start going over and you got a lake in the middle with a big old Diplodocus there.
Now we're in the Jurassic.
Eating some grass. You got your Stego. You got some guy over here in the middle. Like we got a guy like eating some remains. He's eating some bloody dinosaur parts, but he doesn't look necessarily like he'd be a predator. He looks like one of those headbutt dinosaurs.
Yeah, was probably an Allosaurus, and there's a whole list of the dinosaurs. I'm not going to go into that, but
I'm not going to go.
This was a time in which,
if you want me to.
You guys. Okay, so the Allosaurus dug up in this is a time in which dinosaurs are considered cold-blooded, heavy, slow reptiles, as Diplodocus's music depicts. But this is not what we know of dinosaurs today. But at the time, this was cutting edge. He actually worked with scientists to get these depictions right.
Ah, I see.
So
yeah. So then, as you go across, you have more dinosaurs. I don't know the name of. And then lastly, you have the cool dinosaurs with the big feet.
Yeah, I like them.
Dimetrodon.
I like them.
It's actually not a dinosaur. It is actually a synapsid, which is considered a mammal-like reptile. These are actually early mammals or spin-offs from the mammal line.
There you have it.
Awesome. So there you have it. You have this awesome image followed up by, I don't know. I just don't think the remake is. I mean, I feel like in some ways the remake. I'm sure you'll tell the story.
I will tell the tale.
Looks better, but not.
Well,
tell the tale.
So I actually got the height wrong on this. There's 26 feet high. So this is a huge mural. Oh. It's up high. You can actually see down here in this photo.
Yeah.
What it looks like in the museum. And there are pictures of Zallinger on this scaffolding. And he had said, like, he wasn't too worried about doing this piece until he got up on that scaffolding and started putting charcoal to wall. That's when he messed his pants. He made some engineer brown. He had to go clean himself up because he realized what he'd got himself into.
Just a nugget.
So it took me a little bit to figure out what's going on here. So the first Diplodocus album actually has artwork from his model, his mock-up. This first mural that I've got that you just described is actually a painting he did on panel, and they used it for posters and things like that. But this is something that he did as a mock-up to show what it was going to be like. And you have a lot of the great artists out there like Frazetta who would do full-on... James Gurney does this too. They do full-on beautiful paintings as their fucking mock-ups, making us all look like a bunch of scrubs.
Is this the painting right here? This dinosaur looks like CGI. Doesn't even look...
It does. It looks like
fake.
airbrush and computer. Yeah.
So this makes a lot of sense to me, because if you think about the size of this thing, so in the first version, it doesn't have as much smooth detail, because you're dealing with a smaller thing. But as you know, the more you scale up, the more detail you can actually do. And if you think about it, this dude, he's standing up. He's probably to this Triceratops frill. You know, so the amount of detail he was able to create with in this final painting is giving you that CGI feel.
So much so detail packed.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much he got paid.
I wonder too, because like I said,
he on his own.
Yes, and it took him 5 years. He started in 1942. He ended in 1947.
Shit.
Now he painted this using
World War II is going on.
Yeah.
All my buddies are getting killed, and here I am painting dinosaurs.
I don't want to fight.
This one's for you, Raymond.
I love dinosaurs all day.
People are rationing sugar.
Nope.
People are rationing everything, and here this guy is
hating in the museum,
spending hours painting dinosaurs. It's perfect.
Yeah, look at him painting over here. There's a young man starting with the Dimetrodons over here. You know, just no earbuds, no dino synth, no dungeon synth to listen to. Just the echoing caverns of his mind for 5 years.
Just as arguing with his wife as he paints.
Right.
Damn you! If I don't want to put the milk out on the porch, I don't have to.
You want to have to put the listen here. I got dinosaurs
doesn't have
to paint.
my martini waiting for me when I get home.
So he painted this.
There's going to be some issues.
He painted this using the fresco secco technique, which required him to mix pigments into an organic binder and then apply it onto dry plaster. He did this using the tempera paint method. So he's creating this with this fast drying, super durable paint, and he did that because he wanted it to be super durable so it would last the ages. He said those guys back in the medieval, they painted their angels, they painted their Jesus. I want to paint dinosaurs that'll last till when the monkeys are taking over this planet. So I think the proper ending to Planet of Apes should have had the main character enter the Peabody to see this glorious painting still preserved in the
tempura.
The painstaking fresco secco technique on this wall. And if you go to Diplodocus's Bandcamp, which I will link to, you'll see all of his albums, and the albums are different pieces of this mural, and then added with color added to it, a filter to give it kind of this worn, storybook look. And I think the original mock-up kind of fits the tone a little bit better. The dinosaurs with the all the wrinkles and pock marks and the ear holes and stuff like
way
that.
Better.
But it was cool to find out that this painting was, both of these paintings, these pieces of art, were done by the same guy, and it's still there today. They actually did a digital re-envisioning of the artwork. They didn't want to mess with it. They said, I know it's not right. I know it doesn't fit our modern idea of what dinosaurs should look like, but it's a testament to time, and it is a beautiful piece of artwork.
Can you imagine someone just going up there and scraping off a big piece of it and be like, I'm going to put some new dinosaurs on here. With feathers.
Let's put some feathers on this.
Some feathers on this mural that this guy painted with his own blood.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's the one who convinced them to do this giant panorama when they originally just wanted separate pieces of the dinosaurs. But I think it's the reason why it's lasted so long. If it was separate pieces that could be taken down, they would have been replaced by now. But this is still up in all of its gigantic glory. Again, you can see the scale in the museum. And finally, on the last slide, I included a video. It'll give you a lot more information on Zallinger. Definitely look him up. We're here to whet your palate, to get you interested in these artists, but I'm not going to do a deep dive into him. tonight because I want to talk about the dinosaurs and the dino synth. There's not a whole lot of dino synth out there, and Diplodocus is definitely the standard.
Well, and Inks, looking at these two covers, it makes me wonder if Andrew Fritz isn't as much of a dino nerd as you are.
Ooh.
Well, did he know?
I don't know.
Did he know about these panels? He had to have known.
I don't know what was going through the Fritz's mind.
That's why he made the Tyrannic edition, the new and improved, version.
Yeah, this Tyrannosaurus has gone to the spa. He's gotten all those pockmarks buffed out. Still has the demon eye, and
I like the turkey leg.
Longer teeth. Longer razory teeth, but it's a cool callback. It definitely creates a certain feel. What I like about the Diplodocus album is it's got title names that have, dinosaurs and animals that not a lot of people would know about, So you've got different, something that really like get your imagination going to look up these weird creatures. That's not just Tyrannosaurus, Triceratops, Stegosaurus. It's got a lot of flavor. There's roars, there's squeals. Definitely check it out. Go to Bandcamp, look up this Dino Synth Wonder, and know that Rudolph slaved for 5 years while the world, like if you took a time lapse of the world going around him and him just slowly aging as he's painting, layer after layer of paint on this juicy thunder thigh of the T-Rex here.
He may have avoided the war, but when they got back, he was still painting.
Yeah, he was traumatized in a different way. Yeah.
All right, my friends, that's it. We have made it through another edition of the Bandcamp Challenge.
Yeah, another day at Bandcamp here.
That's right. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us as we adventured through these covers.
So as the darkness rolls in and we all collect around the campfire, we got to remember that if you ever get lost in the woods there and you're alone and you're cold and you're hungry, you can always burn your clothes, but don't you dare burn your covers.
Yeah!